everyone. Welcome to the webinar on machine learning with R. Today we have Mr. Ravi Krishan Pandey with us to share his knowledge about how we can do machine learning with R software. Let me introduce the speaker to you. Ravi Krishan Pandey sir has been my friend as well as my colleague at Lakshmi Institute of Technology. He has a vast experience of industry and academy of about 12 years. And he has published various papers in international and national journals and conferences. We welcome Ravi sir to share his knowledge about this particular topic with you. I hope this will be useful to all of you and you will enjoy the session. Now I request Ravi sir to please confirm that he is able to receive all the video and audio. Ravi sir, are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes, sir, you are audible. And welcome to the webinar, sir.
Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
you may start your session, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you for giving me the chance. So I think it is audible to everyone, and I'm welcoming everyone for this beautiful session of machine learning with R. And
yes, sir, you are audible to all, and I request you to share your screen. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone, and I'm very happy to see you all for attending this beautiful session. Few known faces are there, so I'm very happy to see them. Okay, so is my slides are visible to everyone? May I just
yes, sir, your screen is visible to all.
Okay,
your screen is visible to all, sir.
Okay, so very good morning. First of all, let me have introduce my topic, and then I would like to introduce myself to you people. So today I'm going to deliver a session on machine learning using R language. So as I know that the participants are of a mixed type of mob. So I have seen even that there are a few newcomers who even don't have any experience of computer science, and even the PhD guys and research guys, head of departments. So it's a variety of mob which is listening to me. So I would like to deliver the thing that it will be able to understand by the layman also. So let me have giving a gist of machine learning using R. You might have experienced or using the Python language, Python even. So I'm not comparing it with the Python. Python is as good. If you're working with Python, I'm not denying that it's not capable or that much, but there is a presence of R language also, which I would like to focus to you guys, as I think everybody knows about the Python, but not about the R language. So what is the beautiful things are there in R? What is the easiness? How could you able to deliver the things in an easy manner in R? I'm just going to have that session for you. So this session will basically contain machine language, basic R concepts, and then a single run with the machine learning concept. Okay, so let me share myself that I'm having 12 years of experience in the field of teaching, training, and management, as Nansar already told you. So I would like to have work with the fields of big data, Hadoop technologies, data sciences, and all. And I'm even certified in the big data, Hadoop, and data sciences. So it's my interest that keep me here in the.
Sir, please unmute yourself. Ravi sir, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Yeah. It's not unmuted. Is I'm audible, Nansar?
Yeah, it's audible now. Thank you. Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay. So basically, my interest just keep on increasing after my masters with this beautiful field, machine learning, and by the grace of God, it is being a very popular field right now, as you all have heard about the deep learning and all. So it is the enhancement of that machine learning only. So I would like to just give the scope of the webinar, what I'm going to conduct for you people. So that is, first of all, I'm just going to have an introduction about R to you all, that what is R language, and what is basically why we have to learn, or why we have to go through this R language, because there are Python and other Scala and other languages are also available. But what is the powerfulness of the R? I'm going to discuss that thing to you people. Then after, we will have some hands-on about the R code, so we can able to see how to work on the R code and how much it is easy. So that is my main perspective, to generate a bloom between you about the R language. Then after, we will discuss about the machine learning concepts, and in the last, I will show you implementation of some machine learning concept, either it is regression or classification technique, or any technique. I will a single technique I will lay out and have show an implementation with R language of that particular. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so first of all, what is R language and when it is just being evolved? So basically, R is developed by Ross Ihalka and Robert Gentleman in 1993. And it is the subsidiary of the S language. S language is basically developed by the AT&T Bell Lab, which is very much known to everyone. So the people, it is in copyright, the S language is copyright for the AT&T Bell language. So that is basically invented for the statistical working on. So to make it a public domain, the Ross Ihalka and Robert Gentleman have been developed this R language, which is basically a copy kind of thing, but it is now enhanced in comparison to S language, which is the copyright of the AT&T Bell Lab. But this R is the open source for everyone. So what is the power of R? You can use the statistical and graphical methods in this, because it have a vast catalog of statistical methods and graphical methods too. The R language is basically used for the statistical inference, data analysis, and the machine learning algorithms, which is our main topic here right now. Then the codings of the libraries of R is basically developed in R, but with the heavy computational tasks, it even uses the C language, C++, and Fortran codes to make the heavier libraries and all. So overall, it is a mixture. The libraries are a mixture of the R-coded files and the other coding files also. So where it is used by whether it is used by other companies, or what is the scenario right now, we have to know. So the company like Uber, Google, Airbnb, Facebook, and so on, the list is so big, so I'm not going to take each and every name, but such kind of companies are using the R for their own machine learning algorithms and feature learning things. So it's a beautiful thing to learn R, because if such big companies are interested in learning R and doing work with R, so what is the reason that these companies are likely to work on the R? So the question arises, why we use R? So first of all, R is an open source language. So that is the beauty. If something is open source, you won't have to take the license, and you won't have to pay the fee for license agreement and all. So it is good that you can put that money somewhere else for doing up your business. It is available for every platform, like it is available for the Macintosh, even you can say that for the Unix and for Windows. So for all platforms, it is available. So then after a very quality people have gathered basically for working with the R, and they are working freely for enhancing the R network, R archives. So basically that is named as the comprehensive R archive networks. So what is this? The guys who are being interested in developing the R modules, they are developing the things for you people. Likewise, when in 1993, the deep learning modules are not there with the R prospect. But what happened right now means day by day, when the requirement arises, that people, the workers of the R have evolved with the deep learning concepts and deep learning algorithms also. So that group is known as CRON, the Comprehensive R Archive Network. It is being in continuously improvement, because as the problems arises, that same group, even you people, if you have a little bit knowledge of R, and you will be want to be the member of the development team. Even you can put your codes like normal, even matrix codes and all. You can do it yourself. So it has been continuously improvements are there. So this language is very powerful. Create once, use repeatedly. I'm just taking the example of Excel file here. If you're just going to do the data analytics or summary portions with your Excel, then what will we have to do? You have to make the pivot tables, or you have to do the summary kind of thing like mean, mode, median, and all. But when the data sheet will be changed, you have to do that thing again and again. So in that perspective, it is written here that create once, use repeatedly. It's mean once you created the code for the one data set, you can run that same code to the other data set even. So that is the beauty. Now a language always being preferred by the users only when it have a wide scope to being connect with the other sources which are right now popular or running in the present era. So I would like to just give the names of few that the R language can be communicate with the languages, many languages, database and tools. Some examples are given here like languages, Python, C#, Java. So there are interfaces are available which can by using which you can have a communication between the both languages. If it comes the database, the Google BigQuery, MySQL, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, these are the database. The list is very vast. I have taken a few names only to show you. So you can connect your application with this database using R even. The tools Matlab, TensorFlow, and Excel is also communicating with R language. So this is the beauty of R, that it have a wide way of interfacing to the other languages. So this is the this creates an importance of R amongst the users. We can have a graph here also in which the learning curve rating versus the data science for the business capabilities rating are there. So if we see that the learning is of Excel is very much easy, but on the data science capabilities, its rating is very low. So we have to think about another option for that. So Power BI, Tableau for the visualization tools are there, Matlab is there, Python is there, SAS is there, and R is there. You can just see that learning curve rating for the Python, SAS, and R is almost equal. But if you see the data science business capabilities, rating is very high for the R. Because one more reason what I observed myself by using this R is that it will be understandable by the non computer science background people also, because you won't have to code much there. You have to just if you have a little bit knowledge of the coding, you can easily learn the R language. So in comparison to learning, in learning, it have put in the Python, SAS, and R on the equal level. But I would like to put R on the higher level than the Python, because learning is very much easy in R. Even I will tell you something very interesting, and have even show you that how could you learn R without an instructor. R even having its own package for learning of R. So I will even show you that thing. Okay, so that is the curve which is showing that R used by industries. So right now the academic industry is using R in very much prominent manner, like the researcher, PhD students, master guys, they are using the R very much. So after that, the other field is healthcare, which is using the R. So if we right now, if we all are basically academicians, and the prominent field right now is healthcare, as you all know that COVID pandemic is going on. So healthcare is the very prominent field right now. So this is the used by industry. This is the curve denoting used by industry. The academic after the academician, government, consulting firms, and healthcare are the industries which are using R in a very effective manner. So there is all the possibilities are good here, but there is a lacuna also that R is not capable to work in parallelized manner, or you can say on the on the same time with a multiple CPU. But that is a lacuna. I'm just telling lacuna. I have named that topic. So it was a lacuna. Right now there are a lot of packages are available to us which can work on the multi-core machines also. So this is another beauty and power of R. Let's have again I have a curve to just show you the importance and the popularity of the R language among the users. So I'm omitting this. I'm omitting the most prominent one, Python, Java, and PHP from this curve, and have a compare with Swift, Scala, Ruby, Objective C. So you can see, as in the 2012, the Objective C is on a very high questioning level. So all the questions which are coming on the Stack Overflow from the developed countries are basically from the Objective C. But right now, in 2018 up to 2018, the R get rises as equals to the language C. So it's that much basic and that much useful to everyone. Okay, so this is the theory part I have just completed for R. So where we can get the R, and how to whether some ID is available to us. So for that, I'm just giving this important links to you, that R, if you want to download R with your system, you can go to www.rproject.org. So this is the link where from where you can get your R package for installation to whether it is on every type of operating system. R Studio is there. This is an ID which is basically provide you a graphical user interface for running the R. So I prefer rather than downloading the simple exe from the R project, you just download the R Studio. If you download the R Studio, it will by default contain all the packages and everything. So I even run the R, give you an introduction about the R Studio, that how it's look out and how to work on R Studio. Then even you can download the R markdowns. Markdowns file are basically publications file which have been like coded files. So you can download the R markdowns for different works and you can work on that directly. Learning R using Swirl. So swirlstat.com, that is a very important thing I have just been telling you in the previous slide, that if you don't have any teacher and even you want to learn R, so that is the best option to learn R is Swirl package. How to install and how to run this package, we will show you later on this webinar. So let me move on. Okay, so just as every language have some data types and data structures, or even have the data structures. So we have discussed this because it is the basics of any language. Whenever you just going through a language, first thing you read out there is the data types. So we have here the scalar data types, in which numeric, integer, complex, character, and logical things are coming. Over to that, we have the vectors. Vector is let me have just name first in this slide, and then description will be there in the next slide. Okay, so vectors there, matrices are there, frames are there, lists are there. So what they are, we have to exactly know to them. I'm just going to brief you about vector, matrices, data frames, and list. So as we have an example here, that the scalar type integer is basically kind of whole numbers, which example is 100 and minus 9. These are the examples of the integer. The numeric is basically decimal things, that is 0.1 or something. You have seen the example. Example is visible to you. Character is known to you. That is type of text, like hello, welcome, and all. So logical variables which have the Boolean kind of value, it's mean they are either being classified in true or false kind of results. The factor is a variable here. It is a kind of I will even discuss few factor about factor. Factor is nothing. It is a categorical value. If we see the variable, there are variable of two kinds variable there. That is quantitative and qualitative kind of thing. So qualitative is your categorical. Categorical, if we just going to divide the categorical in further on portions, so ordinal and nominal kind of data will be there. We will discuss this thing in another slide. It's an just see the example and just have a look to this. So factor basically have the value kind of green, blue, red, purple, or the ratings, some movie ratings kind of thing, average, good, better, best. So like this, the factors to hold on such kind of data. The missing the logical NA and the empty that are not very much important. The importance, what is important here, I'm just going to take that. What is vector? you might get a confusion about the vector. What is vector? But it's a very simple thing. I told you, vector is nothing. It's a 1D kind of array. If you have learned or you have gone through the 1D array, it is just vector here. The 1D array, one-dimensional array, is just being called as the vector here. Come to matrices. Matrices is basically m cross n kind of array, which have two-dimensional 2D array. So it's a 2D array.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your presentation is not visible. You can again start presenting.
Let me start again. Can you guide me, sir, till which slide it had gone? Just a minute. Let me.
Vector slide only, sir. Vector slide.
Vector slide only. Okay.
Sir, in layout, please keep spotlight. That will, you can say, eliminate all the issues.
Yeah, layout.
Keep it spotlight.
Hello.
Spotlight.
Spotlight.
Sir, spotlight.
Yeah.
Keep it spotlight. Yeah.
Okay. I have made it spotlight. So it, but sir, it is showing that error has been encountered.
No issue, sir. You resume your presentation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think, sir, it is not permitting me. Sorry, an error has encountered when screen sharing. While screen sharing.
I just request you to restart your browser, sir.
Just a minute. Let me try it again. Yeah, now it's okay. No, sir.
Okay, sir.
Let me start. Let me start it again.
Yeah.
Just a minute, sir. Sorry for this technical fault. I'm just joining you people again.
Yes, sir. We have almost 80 plus participants online. That's why there might be some issue.
Yeah, no, that's why it's technical issues. Okay, share now. I'm sharing. Yeah, again I'm sharing. Try to share.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I think sharing started. Is it so? Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay,
your
sir.
screen is not yet visible.
Sorry for the interruption.
Your screen is yet not visible, I think.
Not visible?
Your presentation is not yet visible, sir.
Pardon, sir?
Your presentation is not visible. Kindly restart your browser and relog in, sir. That will be good. Okay, it's working now, sir. It's working. Working.
Yes.
Okay.
Is the screen visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So whether the screen is visible or not, even on the screen, just let me share again.
Yes, sir. Share
My screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It is starting and your screen is visible now.
Okay. Thank you for connecting me, sir. Sorry guys, sorry for interruption.
Welcome, sir.
Actually, it's a technical fault here, so sorry. So I had just been completed this slide that I have introduced you about the scalar vector matrices and data frame and list. So we have just gone in details to that. So that comes vector kind of thing. So vector is nothing you won't have to after that. It is just a 1D collection of as like you have done the array in other programming languages. The vector is array here only. So the array kind of thing, 1D array is just named as vector here. For the 2D collection, it is known as matrices, which is even being
Sir,
very much
sir, in your
versed with the word.
presentation, please mute your mic in laptop. Please mute your mic in laptop, sir. It is giving echo effect.
Yes. Hello. Is it fine now, sir? Hello.
Now it is fine, sir. Yes, sir, it is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let me come to my presentation again. Okay. So a new term point here, that is data frame. So we people are, if we are from the computer science background, or even we have gone through any language we have studied, we must know about the vectors and the array and the matrices. So arrays here, vector and matrices are called being as matrices only. But the new term point here is data frame. So what is data frame? So data frame is somewhat which is like a matrices, but the value of that will be column wise. So might be this example, with example we can clear it in a better manner. But you just remember right now, right now you have to know the difference between the matrices and the data frame. That matrices is a collection of 2D kind of array, and whereas the data frame are the collections of the column wise values. So I will show you that in the coming up hands-on session. Okay, so let me just move on. So it's coming. We have the time to get introduced with R Studio and the basic coding hands-on session with R. So are you guys ready for that with an excitement? So let me start the R Studio for you people. Okay. So I think might be which have the person who have gone through the R have seen this screen earlier also, but it might be new for many people. So let me have introduced you about this screen, that what this screen is, and how to work with this screen. So this screen have the if you just see, there are 4 columns we have going to see here. That first one, this portion where my cursor is, first portion, second portion this, the third one this, and the fourth one this. What is the name and what is the importance of this section? I will just going to demonstrate you about that. So this first section is the portion where you have to code. It means whatever you coding, you have to code it here. Or if you're opening some R file, that file will be going to display in this section. So this is the content section where you can put your codes to run. Okay, so this is that. The second portion is on my cursor, the down to that. This is the terminal. This is the console and the terminal portion. So console is basically where you're going to run those codes. If you're going to run this code, then the output will be going to show you here in the console. So this is the second portion. The third portion is global environment. So this global environment basically keeps the generated variables values. So when you run a code, in background to that, the memory is assigning or the value is assigning to a particular variable. So in the other languages might be not very much open to see you those things. But in R, whenever you're just going to create a variable, it's just being showed in the global environment to you. We will do this thing also. And this is the last section where you can see the plots. So you can install the packages. You can take the help. So for the learners, we have this kind of. So I think it is clear to everyone about the R Studio that it has 4 sections. In much deeper, if you want to go, you have to install this R Studio. And believe me, it is quite easy to learn this thing. I even learned it with myself by working since last 4 years to this R Studio. Okay, so let me have compile a code for you people. And how could we just put the variables? How could we run this thing? I will tell you about that. So we have the first code here. That is what I'm just selecting that code. It might be visible to everyone in the first section. You can see that X is a variable. A beauty is there again, as like C or C++ or Java, you won't have to put the data type of an variable, whatever the thing you're going to assign to that variable, it will take the value accordingly. Okay, so this x is a variable which I have just been formulated here, and assigning the value 1 to that x. So here there are two ways to assign a variable. So likewise, this is the first way you are just going to see it, and I'm just putting in another way. So if you put x equals to 1 in this manner, even it will assign the 1 value to x. So you have two options for assignment of as being assignment operator. Either you use this less than hyphen symbol, that is an arrow kind of symbol for assignment, or you can use equals to. For making the comment section to a particular code or a particular line, you have to use hash. Hash indicate that the portions coming from this to end of the line segment is basically treated as being the comment section. Okay, so I think that much will be clear to you people. Right now, what I'm doing is just see. Right now, the global environment portion is empty, and the console have nothing there as being an output. So let me run this code for you. How to run? There are two, again, there are 2 or 3 ways to run this thing. If you want to run the whole file, you can go from the top menu, you can run this thing. But we have to give an interpretation to you people. That's why we are going to run it code-wise or line-wise or bash-wise. Okay, so how to run this thing? If you have to run a single statement, then what you have to do? You have to put the cursor there, and you have to put control and enter simultaneously. After putting that cursor there in the end, you have to put control and enter.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Can you please keep your mic somewhat close to your mouth, because the audio is not going loud to all.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Yeah,
Hello?
it is audible, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The feedbacks are very important while webinar, because the speaker can't able to see and hear the thing. So moderator is required.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And okay. So
You,
as I told you that for running a code, what we have to do, we have to put the cursor at the end of that statement, and have to press the control enter. So right now you can see in global environment, there is no variable is showing to you. Let me run this code for you, and even you have to see the console. Console is blank here right now. Let me run this thing. Okay, so control enter. So what happens? You just see in console that the commands is going to be run here. So up to that number, it's an comment portion, so it neither affected anything. And here x is assigned to 1. See the global variable environment. X is here created, and 1 is the value 1 is assigned to that x variable. I think it is quite easy right now. I think no problem will be there. So let me have to create another variable in the same manner. So I have created y as value assigned 2.5. You can see y had assigned 2.5 value. Now a class function came here. So how to know about this function? So what you have to do, if you don't know about any function, what you have to do, you have to just go there in the help section. You can find help section there in this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write the class function here. So after entering, it will show me about the class, that what is the class object function. So the description is given, as you can see, that basically class is used for detecting the type of the variable, what type of the variable, what object basically it is oriented, the generic function. So it is used for that, and it is the generic function in the R. So if we see the output of this class X, so what will be the output? Let me just do it. So just see class X in the console. You just go and see. We have run this class X, and it is showing that its result is of numeric type. Okay, what that mean? It's mean X is of the numeric type. The same of Y. Y is also the same numeric type. Let have check something else. If you just put likewise, I'm just making the change here for you people, and I'm putting here, let's suppose hi. Okay, so now see, that what is the difference? Hi is giving as a character to you people. Okay, it means this class function is used for getting the data type of the variable. There are more functions like type of or mode function. So I can even run these things for you. Mode is numeric. So this is the scalar, normal scalar variables which have been numeric type and character type and all. Let me introduce you with the logical values. So so x and y we have assigned the variables 1 and 2.5. So x is greater than y. Is it true or false? I think it is false because x have the value 1. So this m will going to contain the answer in a logical manner. So let me run this for you and see that what is going to happen. Right now the code is not affecting. It just what happened here right now, x and y had been compared in the manner that x is greater than y, and the logical result is stored in the m section. So if you want to see what is the result, then you have to type the m only. So I have typed m here and it's giving false. It means our assumption that x is greater than y is false. Okay, I think it is very easy to learn this type of code. And now what we're doing, x is less than y, and storing that value in n. So now we have to check the n. What will be the value of n? That is but obvious that it is true. Okay, so this much easiness here for running a code and all. The same thing if you have to do with other programming language, how much it is efficient or how much it is easy, you might know if you have gone through the few other languages. So it's a beauty of this R. So what is the class of M? Can we see it? So it is logical kind of. As I told you that variable this true and false is taking in a logical data type. So it is taking the class as being logical here. Correspondingly, you can check the environment variable. Here m and n have generated after the running of this code, and the value of m and n is being stored here. Okay, so let me just move on. This na is also the logical kind of value. It is it just shown here. So same in the same manner, the logical after the logical values, logical operators also work here. Like was m and n, m or n, m not negation of m. So it is a very easy way to see all those things. Okay, so if we're just going to do this thing, just think of m is true, m is false, and n is true. So false and true gives you what? False. Or in condition of or, false and true gives you true, and negation of false gives you true. So the logical operators also work here in the same manner as we are working with some other languages. Same here, the character kind of thing. If you see, if you want to write two codes in a single line, you have to use this semicolon. Okay, what that means? Either you have to write the thing in a single line, as I have done in the previous thing to show you that x is assigned to 1 and y and 2.5 is assigned to y. So either you do this thing in 2 lines, or what you can do, you can even put these all codes in a single line by putting a semicolon in between. Okay, so if you just put a semicolon here, it will treat it that the lines end here and the second line begins. Okay, so let me run this 2 lines simultaneously. How could I run? As much as code you want to run, you have to select it and press the Control Enter. That is the way. Okay, so let me just put let me run these 2 codes. Okay, so what happened? You just see A and B is being created here. Earlier it was not reflecting it, but now A and B are created here, and the value assigned A is 1 and B is 2.5. But you can observe that when you are assigning a numeric value like to the x, it is just being 1 here, not in the double quotes. It shows you that this x is being in a numeric kind of thing, means it is a numeric value which is assigned to x. So the variable is numeric variable right now. But when you put the double quotes, it indicates you about the character stream and the strings. So this variable A is of the character type. Okay. So what happens when we put these? If a case will be there that we have taken a value, a numeric value as being in the character manner, double quotes manner, then can we able to perform the computational part on that? You people know that no, it is not possible until it won't be an integer. You won't work able to work in the computational manner. So what do you have to do? Either you take the variable integer variable and put the value there, or what you can do, you can even typecast. I think this word is very much familiar to the person, to people who are being in the computer science domain. The typecasting is what basically for a little period you're just going to change the data type of that variable. So how could we do that in this? Let me show you that again. Just being here. Let me show you this class of A. First of all, just see the class of A. So class of A is character here. You just see the console. The class of A is showing to character to you. Now what I have to do, I have to change it to the numeric one. So the function which I use is as.numeric. So this as.numeric is a typecasting function which can temporarily change your variable to the numeric kind of thing. So A is a character, but you are just typecasting it. So if you just do that much only, so it will change the value, and you can assign it to, you can use it is in the computations, or you will assign the value somewhere. But we are interested to see the class of that right now. So what we are doing, we have seen the class of A, and by putting the as numeric function, we are able to know the class change, the type class change here. So you just see that it becomes the numeric. Right now the same A which is being showing as a character in the console earlier, it have been showing right now numeric to you. Why? Because we have used this as numeric method. I think it might be, the session is very, I'm going through a very basic, in very basic manner. So it might be getting bored for the coders who are already have been knowing these things. But it is important for me, it is important to just deliver it in this manner, because there are many people who are not from the computer background who are attending this webinar. Okay, now come at the vectors, what basically which is being called array in other languages. So for here, creating the vector, you have to use the C function. We just use C, which is indicating a creation of vector here, and have to put all those values in the argument to that. So I'm just creating a numeric vector here. You can see with value 1, 2, 5.36, -2, and -4, and just storing that variable into a vector named O, a variable named O. So this variable worked as a vector right now. You see the global environment variable, no such variable is existing right now, but if I'm going to run these all commands simultaneously, like O, P, and Q, control enter, you see that all three commands have been run in the console, and for all the global environment have created the variable O, P, and Q. You can see that O is of in the global environment. You just focus here where my cursor is. The O is of numeric kind, having 6 values: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. In the same manner, the P is a character vector which is having 6 values, and the logical manner, these all of the 1 cross 6 values, and it's showing the vector to you. If it will be matrix, then the column 1 not will be 1. It might be 2 cross something or 3 cross something, according to the 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional matrix, whatever you're going to make. Okay, so let me see all these outputs simultaneously. So what we will do, for seeing the output, we have to put that variable, and we want to run it commandly. So we put the semicolons in between. So in the console, you can see the value of O, the value of P, the value of Q are reflecting. Now, we will just do a computation kind of with this. So that will create interest about the R language to you people. Okay, so we have to check. Now, just see this statement, O square bracket Q. What that means? It means we have to print the value of O, but in presence of Q. Q is a logical vector here. So it means wherever the value of Q will be true, we have to display the quantity of O for the true values only. What that means? The first position will be displayed, it means 1. Second position will be displayed 2. Third will not because it is false, so 5.3 will not going to be in the answer. 6, for 6 it is true. Okay, for -2 it is false, and for 4 it is true. So correspondingly, if we are just assigning this rule here, what will happen? By running this, you can see that only the true portions of Q will run from the O. So we have the value here 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so just move on. I'm just moving it on. A lot of things are there, but I have to just concentrate it because it have been very long. So now the matrix comes to us. How to create a matrix? The matrix created by matrix function, as the vector is created by C function. For the matrix creation, you have to put a matrix function here, and these are the quantities you have to just put it there. Like what is the value of what value are you putting in matrix? So I'm just putting 1 column 12. It means from 1 to 12, all the values I'm putting in my matrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are the values for my matrix. And how to display it? So it is the column and row. Number of column will be 4 here, and number of row will be 4 and column will be 3. And by row it is also these are the parameters. If we just going to run this command, what will happen? You will find a global variable in the global environment named as T, and which is basically which basically a matrix kind of thing. So the matrix is you just see this 4 cross 1 and 1 cross 4 and 1 cross 3. It means the vector. This is the row and the column kind of thing. It is displayed here. Let me put that matrix in the printed form. So for printing it, I'm just going to type T, Control Enter. So as I put T here in the console, you can see a matrix is being displayed. Okay, and the matrix is basically of 4 cross 3. So there are 4 rows here and 3 columns are there. Okay, is it clear to everyone? I think it is very easy, so neither a problem to just see here. So in the same manner, if you want to access the matrices 2, 3 portion, it means second column, second row, third value. So you can do that thing. So just let me second column. It means this one. Second column is this, and the second row is this, and third column is this. It means the intersection of this. So that is the value is 10 here. So I think with this, if I'm running 2, 3, T square bracket 2, 3, we will have the result 10. Just see, the result is 10. So it is quite easy as earlier you have done with the matrices, whether you have even not, if you have not been in the coding earlier, but if you have gone through the mathematical matrix portion in your 10th and 11th classes, even you can able to understand this thing very easily. You won't have to do anything. For assessing a particular value, you have to put that column and row, and you will get the value of that. In the same manner, if you if you're not putting something for the column or row, what will happen? It will give you entire column or entire row. Let me show you like this. Let's we have put here T square bracket 3. It means we are not mentioning that which row we required. So it's going to print the column value only. Okay, so the result will be the third column, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. Just see. The result is what? 9, 10, 11, 12. In the same manner, if we are just going to access the fourth row, the value is 4, 8, and 12. I think it is very quite easy for you. If you want to scrap a portion of a matrix, so what you have to do? You have to put the row column assignment from there. Likewise, in this in 85th code, what I have done, T 2 raised 2 column 4 and 1 column 3. What that means? From row count from 2 to 4 we have to display, and column count 1 to 3 we have to display. What that means? 1, 2, 3 means here is a C. A column is 1, 2, 3 means we are going to display all these columns, but row from 2 to 4, it means from this portion to this portion only will be the result shown by this particular command. So we have not taken the first row here, so the content 159 will be omitted from the displaying result. Just see. Okay, so what just see, we have run this command, and the first row is just omitted, having value 1, having the value, the upper value 1, 5, and 9. It is just omitted. So this is your matrices over. Now, so we have what till we have seen here. Let me. So we have seen the scalar portion. We have seen the vector. We have completed the matrix even. Now it's turn to see the data frames and list to you. Okay, so what is data frame and how it will be? Yeah, let me come on the R again. Okay, so now the data frame. Till now, the portions I think might be very much easier and familiar to the all coders, scalar, vector, and matrices. The new term here came like a data frame. So what is a data frame? So data frame is more generic. It's a kind of matrix only, but it is just being used as column wise. I told you in the earlier slide and have promised you to just keep a brief description in the coding time. So now the time came. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, you just see. I think right now you are a little bit familiar to the code, so you can able to understand it very easily. That I have created a vector D. It's a numeric vector having value 1, 2, 3, 4. Same as we have created a E vector having the value character value red, white, red, and NA logical one, and this is the logical one. So what we have done, we have created these 3 vectors right now, and going to add these vectors to the data frame. Means it's a kind of matrix, but in the column form, as I told you earlier. If it is not clear to you, you won't have to worry. When I run the code, you can able to see it and you can able to better understand the thing. Okay, so let me run this code for you people. Till now, what we have done, we have created D, E, and F. D, E, and F as being numeric, character, and logical values. Okay, now we are going to add these 3 vectors in the data frame. So how to create a data frame? I have named a data frame my data and assigning it with these 3 vectors D, E, and F by putting it in the data frame function. So I have to use data.frame and just have to put D, E, F in the brackets. So basically what it will do, it will combine the 3 vectors in the data frame format. So let me run it for you and have to show it for you. Just I have run this code. So now what happened? You just see in the console data frame, data.frame, DEF is run, and that the value of this will be contained in the my data. If you want to see the my data, you can see it easily from here. But what happened right now? Just see, you have the values DEF 1, 2, 3, red, white, red. In the console, you have to see NA, true, 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 and false. But you have made a list kind of thing, a matrix having the column list, columns you have seen here, but you have not named it with anything. So it is displaying with the variable name only, DEF. If you want to name it to for the further proceedings, for the further calculations, you can do it by the function name function. So just see this name function on the line in the code line number 98. So what we are doing, we are putting the function name with my data and assigning the column which is being treated as being the name. It is not treated being as value. You have to just being always reminded that in my data frame, these ID, color, and past, which I have written here, is not treated as being data. It's only treated as being the variable name. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign these variables name to my data frame, by my data. So what happened? You just see right now the DEF is coming, but after running this, the names will be going to assign to my data frame. So let me again run my data frame, and you can see the difference between the both. Earlier, if you see in the results, earlier DEF is coming as the variable name, but now it is coming as ID, color, and past. So that is even the beautiful, it is a good thing or a beautiful chance have given by R to put the column name by yourself. So this is the data frame. I think it is quite easy, and it is a little bit like of matrix, but the difference is it is column wise. It is column wise, and might be have every column will specify a particular kind of data even. So if you want to access it, you can do it very easily. Likewise, if you want to see the ID, so you have to put my data $ID. So the ID will be come to you. So ID is for the data, for ID is your 1234. It come out as being 1234. If you want to see this ID means ID by default it taken to 1. If you put it 3, what will happen? You see the third data will come to you. That this ID is coming showing you all the things. But if you want to extract a particular variable or particular ID, you have to put this square bracket 3. So you will get the 3 here. If you want to see, likewise, in the same as we have done in the matrix, if you want to see the 1 raised to 2 variables, 2 rows of the my data, you have to write this in this manner. Okay. So what will happen? The first and second row is fully being shown to you. Likewise, you just see the result: 1 red true, 2 white true. Okay. So this is your completion of data frame. Now the last, which is basically list. List is a hybrid of all what we have learned yet. It's been if you want to create a kind of data which contain the vectors of different type, which might contain the matrix, which might contain the data frame, then you have to think of that. It's a problem to you. But we have a solution named as list here. So list is a data type which being used for storing all those kinds simultaneously. So let me show you this thing again. So how to create a list and how to put all those variables inside this. So I'm just creating a list L by command list, and we are putting the vector P, matrix T, data fragment my data, and count 3. So by putting these things, your L will be created, the list will be created, and you can display your list by this command. So you can see that a single list will contain your vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, your matrices 1 to 12, and your data frame in a single data scope with a scalar value 3. So that is over to data types of R language. It might have a lot of coding portion have been completed here. So don't get bored with this. I'm just going to have start the machine learning portion, and we'll see implementation of linear regression in the R. Okay. So there are more codes are available to us, that if you want to see particular list vector or particular list matrix, if you want to see list fraction and color, so all these things you can do here. Even what I can do, I can share this code if the moderator provide me a kind of a scope to give it to you people. So I would definitely like to share this code to you people so that you can run, you can download the R installation, R Studio, and run this code for yourself. Okay. So there is one more beautiful function is there, which is being not from the data type, but I have written it here. That is a normal distribution. Might be the people who are from the research background or the statistical background or the mathematical background definitely knows about the normal distribution and all. So if you want to randomize through the normal distribution, we have a function here, and that is rnorm. So if we have to randomize the thing in the form of the normal distribution. So let me show you this function, and then we will switch to the machine learning portion. Okay, so this rnorm is just going to be function here, which is assigning to the value x, and it will contain. If you want to check about this, let me not explain it to you. If you have this function, and how could you know about this? You just have to go here in the help, and you have to type here rnorm. Okay, have to enter it. So it will just going to display you that it is from the normal distribution, and the uses and everything will be there. So we have more functions of the normal distribution: dnorm, pnorm, qnorm, rnorm. We are basically using here rnorm. So here we have to put the values from which, how much values you required as being the argument 1, n. What should be the mean of that? If you put 0 if you putting nothing, then the mean will be treated to be 0, and the standard deviation will be treated to 1. But what we have done here, we are generating a random values by normal distribution. 50 values we are generating, having the mean 10 and with the standard deviation 3. So let me run it for you. Right now, no such x variable is x variable is there. So what is going to be? It is this x will be going to override by this x. Okay, let me show you. Control enter. So I have run this x. Just see, created 50 random x variables from the normal distribution, and you can see this x in the global environment had been changed here. You can see it like num 1 raised to 50. It means total 50 values are there, and these values, if you're going to do the calculations, the mean will be 10 and the standard deviation will be 3 here. So it's a very easy way to do these things. Even you can plot the thing. Likewise, I'm just going to show you this, the plotting way, how to plot. Let me have run this normal function for y also, in which the standard deviation had been changed to 4. And I'm going to put these things by using a cbind function. This cbind function is important to you. This cbind is basically, even you can create the matrices with this cbind function. How? Cbind is what? It is basically binding the two vectors. As you know, the C function is for creating vector. Cbind is for the for joining of two vectors. So what I'm going to do this with this function, I'm going to join x and y by using cbind function, and simultaneously I'm putting this I'm transforming it as a data frame and storing it to my point. So what will happen? The my point will be a data frame which will contain two rows which created by binding of x and y. So let me show you this thing. Okay, so my point is created. If you're just going to see it, my point is created and it have two variables. Just see my cursor in the global environment. My points are created, 50 observation of two variables, and that are this. So it's a very easy way to binding of the vectors. So I think you just able to see that how much easier to do those computations here. If you have to do the same thing with the other languages like Java or Python, it might be more codes to you. Here you have to just put a single code and single line, and the things will be in front of you. Okay, so you can see the class of my point that definitely show you a data frame. So it is showing you a data frame. If you just have to plot this thing, what do you have to do? If you want to see the summary of that, summary basically contain mean, mode, median, standard deviation, all things. So if you have to calculate this with either with other tool, you need a lot of time. But with this R, the network people who are being created the things have made a function summary which will show you all the things in a single manner. I run this for you. You just see the mean is this, the minimum values are x and y this, the first quadrant, the median, the mean, the third quadrant, the maximum, everything will be shown to you in the summary function. So if you're going to find it in other way, it might be take a lot of time. But with this R, just a summary function you have to apply, and whatever the data points or whatever the data set you will provide it will give you all these means in a single click. Okay, so even if you want to plot the diagram, so you can do it. So likewise, for all my x and y points, I have plotted this graph. You can see it in the where my cursor is plot is generated here. Okay, so this is a introductory session of R Studio, and basic R code is finished. So I think you people liked it, and if it will generate the agar to learn the R from after this session. So that will be my success, treated as my success to you people. Now we are just moving on to the introduction to.
Sorry, sir. Excuse me, sir. If some participants have some question on the covered part, then I think we shall take questions first.
Okay, definitely.
If they have any doubts. Participants can ask question in chat window also if they are facing any issues in asking through voice. Okay, sir, I will keep watch on chat window. You continue.
Okay. Thank you, Nansar.
Thank you.
Okay, if you people have any doubt or any question, you can even just put it on the chat section so that it can be visible to the moderator, and he will. If you have any problem in asking, then you can use the chat window also. Thank you, Nansar. So I'm just going to start my introductory to machine learning. So as I told you that I'm just going to make this content of webinar in 4 portions. The first is the introduction to R. The second is hands-on on R. The third is machine learning, introduction to machine learning, and the fourth one is the implementation of a single algorithm. Because if we are just going to see the work on the all algorithm, then it is can't possible even in month, as you know, because there are n number of machine learning algorithms are available to us. So I'm going to give you a gist and then have to run a linear regression for you people. Okay, so thank you for listening me till this portion, and I'm just going to continue for the machine learning. Okay, so first of all, we just know that
just a second, sir. Before you begin, there is one question from Mohammed Khalifa ji.
Yeah.
That hello, sir. I want to know which language is fast according to execution wise, R or Python.
It's even depend on your system, but R is even faster. But for the heavier modules, it might be that for the research one, if you're doing research work, the R is very good for you people. Implementation with the industry, even R is utilizing. Python and R are almost equal in the level of execution. To this level, as I even want to give you a situation that likewise the Python have a big network right now, so the number of people are working with Python are more rather than the R, but simultaneously people who are working with R is being just increasing in a manner in day by day manner. So the availability of the codes and everything with Python is more as compared to R, but R don't have the less effective codes. They have a very good parallelized code also, parallel running computation code also. So R and Python will be treated as being on the equal level of in manner of efficiency up to my knowledge. But easiness in learning, if you ask, the R is more easier than the Python. That is my because I have gone through the both languages, so I know this thing very. And it is my perception. So, Mr. Khalifa ji, you can use the efficiency of both languages are almost equal, and as the part of learning, the R is easy.
Okay, sir. There is one more question also. I think you might take it. If we create a vector, it's treated as row or column.
Row or column. Here, basically, a vector. The displaying of vector is basically shown in a row wise, but you won't have any effect of being a single vector as being row or column, because if you are assessing these variables, you won't have to put the for loop kind of. This question arises because you have a mentality of the Java or Python earlier. So you are seeing that whether it is in the form of the vector or it is in the form of row, but it is not the thing here in the R. The things will be stored in the row wise, but until the matrix or data frames were not there, it is not meant to check whether it is a vector, whether it is stored a row wise or a column wise. But basically, it is just meant in a row wise only. Any other question?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. One more question is that if I am open and run ANN model, it will take long time to process. What is the reason? By using R programming, it might be some tricky question.
Okay, KNN model you are using. So what is the model KNN model they are using?
ANN.
Hello.
ANN. A for Ahmedabad. NN.
Yeah. Okay, ANN.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
ANN.
ANN. So it might be depend upon the code also, that which code you are basically using. You might have taken your own code, you have developed your own code, or you are taking the codes from the Khan network. It is even dependent to that how much speed you will get. For a same thing, there might be have a different kind of codes available to you. So you have to even check about the efficiency of code, that what you are using. It's even depend upon your machine, that what support your machine is giving to the R studio and all. So prominently, I think it won't take that. If your database might be a very vast kind of thing, or you have a very large data set, it might be problem with your machine even, or the algorithm even. That is dependent. If you have the efficient and a machine and efficient algorithm, you can run the same thing in a very fast manner.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question from Srinath Karli, sir. That which
Yes,
is better for data science, either Python or R? Simple.
Simply, both are very good. The Python have a very big network. People are working with this, so it is even good. But why I am just being taking this seminar, because R is a language which is alternative to Python also. For those people who don't have the much knowledge about coding, they can easily learn this R rather than the Python. Python, if you want to just going to learn the Python, you must have some needed to have some basics of the Java even. But with this R, it is not the case. So the people who are from the computer science background, or from the deep coding background, they won't have any problem to learn the R, either or Python. But the person who are not being very equipped with the coding and all, so they can have this R. So this is the option for R. Python is even better, sir. I'm not denying. I'm even coding with the Python also. So I'm not denying, but I'm presenting it that that there is another option of R language which is equally good. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I think some another question was there, but it has been answered by the chat window by some another user. So I have just one request to you, sir. If can we have the idea about how long you will need to cover the, you can say, pending part?
It depends, sir. I can wind up in half an hour also. I will do just machine learning fast and show you the learning.
Yeah. So I think that will be, it will be better to go for machine learning in the next session, because we are already running out of schedule and some users might leave us. So we will have some opinion from the participants if they want to continue, or we shall stop here and organize another one for the second part.
If you give me a chance for a full session for the machine learning algorithms using R, so I can conduct it formally again. No problem.
2-3 opinions from the participants to please continue. So I just request you to, sir, go through the, you can say, basics of all this thing, and we will have in detail in future.
Next. Yes, I'm just yes. So participants, I'm just going to wind up it very soon for you, as it's being very long. So I'm just going to have a gist of the machine learning and implementation. I will just show you, not going to explain it in R. I'm just going to show you it, and then we will close. And if you are interested, you can ping the moderator, the Enine Solutions. They can arrange another webinar for separated to the machine learning portion. Okay, so let me start. So what is machine learning?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Continue.
Okay, so as all we know that machine learning is basically a subset of artificial intelligence. And in this, we are just being able to equip our systems to work with their power of experience and without the coding. So this is a machine learning thing. And statistical inference and the sampling rules very much here, because for interpretation and for uh, judging the future outcomes, we have to use these statistical methods, and also it is very important here, and along with the computer science rollers to make the efficient algorithms which work with your model and for the inference. So this is a little bit explanation of the machine language. So you are very much firm that it is in part of artificial intelligence, where you won't have to put the explicit coding, but the machine learn it from its experience. So the types of machine learning, mostly you have seen the 3 or 4 types somewhere: the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. A coin term might be arises here, that semi-supervised. We will cover it in the next slide. So I'm just going to describe it to you in the next slide. Okay, so this is the supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement, and semi-supervised one. So let me, with the diagram, if you can able to see, it is very much clear to you that supervised is basically a kind of regression or kind of line we have to put in the data set that separate your classes. So this is basically supervised worked on the labeled data. And what is the labeled data? I will just put the answer here also. And whereas the unsupervised work with the unlabeled data. Let me compare first supervised and unsupervised, then I will take the reinforcement and semi-supervised. The number of classes in the supervised will be known, whereas in unsupervised, the number of classes is not known to us. So we have to find the classes there in the unsupervised. Okay, the data is classified based on the training set in the supervised. That means you have to provide the training data on which the supervised learning will create its own model, and depicting of the results will be depend upon that model which is created by the learning the training set data. It used wherever you have to do the predictions kind of thing, where there the supervised learning is used. It is divided into 2 classes like regression and the classification. I will just delete this application because it comes to the in the next slide even. So the unsupervised is, as I told you, it is unlabeled data.
Excuse me, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is audible, sir. Thank you.
I have completed the supervised one. Coming to the unsupervised. So in unsupervised, the data is unlabeled, and the number of classes not known.
Excuse me, sir. Please. Hello. Excuse me, sir. Are you able to hear me, sir? Please unmute yourself, sir, because someone again muted you, and I have removed that participant from the people. We request all the participants to please follow some code of conduct, because this disturbs all the participants. Those who are doing misconduct will be removed and will not be allowed to attend any future webinars. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So,
yes, sir, you are audible. You can continue from the unsupervised.
Unsupervised. Okay. So I'm just going to start. No worry, because I know the time constraint are there. I'm just going to take it in a fast manner. So as being the supervised is used for the predictions, this unsupervised is used for the analysis portion. As that will be divided into regression, classification, it is divided into clustering and the association. So a question arises that what is the difference between the classification and clustering? Both seems to be equal. Like in the supervised, we are using the classification word, classification, and here in the clustering we are using the here in the unsupervised, clustering. So what is the difference between classification and clustering? So basically, in classification you will know that how many classes will be there. So the classification is we do the classification by knowingly the number of class, whereas clustering is done when we don't know the number of classes. So on the means previously when you started to analyze the thing, if you priorly know the number of class, it will come in the classification, and if you don't, it will come to the clustering portion. Now, the reinforcement learning, reinforcement means basically the term reinforcement coined from the army background. So reinforcement is a troop which is sent to support the uh, front military troops. So basically, reinforcement learning is a kind of same that you will won't get a supervision here, but you will get a delayed reward according to your actions. So the input here is the states and actions to that, and no database will be there. And what you have to do, you have to find a function, find action which maximize your reward. So on the basis of reward, you are just going to learn that which step we have to take. So this kind of algorithm used for the decision making, and the applications are a lot of applications is there, which I will take you afterward. The semi-supervised is a term which coined a few years back. So basically, the approaches where the data is even labeled, a few data will be labeled and few and vast data will be not labeled kind of thing. That how to treat those things. So either you can even for doing that, a mixture model is utilized, which is known as semi-supervised, and the best example is Gmail Gmail spam detection kind of thing. So as you know that all people won't put the things in the spam, but even Gmail do it. So that works with if you are putting something into spam, Gmail just going to detect it, and that will be the labeled data for the Gmail, and other it will learn by itself. So this is the example of the semi-supervised one. Okay, so these are the approaches where we have implemented or we have to implement the for doing this thing. We are implementing the machine learning, that is speech recognition, image recognition, natural language processing, computer vision, all those mathematical recognitions, robot control, computational biology, learning associations, and statistical attributes. Okay, even this is a diagram which is indicating all type of machine learning algorithms and the applications of that. So machine learning reinforcement, if we go, then game AI, skill acquisition, real-time decision are the applications of this. If we go to the supervised in the classification, so image classification, customer retention, diagnosis, identity fraud detection. With the regression, we do the weather forecasting, market forecasting, and population growth predictions. With unsupervised clustered, we will do the recommendation system like customer segmentation. With the dimensional reduction, we will visualize the visualization, big data, feature allocation, structure discovery. These are the examples which I have taken. These are the top machine learning algorithms which are being used by the researchers nowadays. That is linear regression, support vector machine, principal component analysis, Gaussian model, anomaly detection, k-means, artificial network, maybe bias, decision tree, logistic regression. Even to that, there are many models are existing which are being used by the people. But the thing point here that when to use which algorithm is a problem to us. So for that, a briefing is given to you. That if you are doing the which type of algorithm you have to you have to choose according to the data set. So if the data set is of continuous manner or categorical manner, you have to see if it is continuous, and you won't have labels of that, means it is unsupervised. So you can go through the clustering, dimensional redundancy, SVD, that is signal variant register, and PCA, that your principal component analysis, k-means. So if your data is not labeled and it is a continuous kind of data, you will go with these algorithms. If it is if the data is labeled and continuous, you will go with the regressions, whether it is linear, polynomial, logistic, your elastic net, your lasso. So there are n number of regressions are there. Even decision tree or random forest even applied to the continuous labeled data. With the categorical data, if you won't have labeled, if you don't have the labeled one, you can association analysis like a priori or F growth, hidden Markovs even can be used for that. For the categorical labeled data, you can use the KNN tree, logistic regression. A lot of algorithms are there. So it is a way I have given to you to choose that on which data set which algorithm can be used. Okay. So this is the data mining. Basic data mining task is divided into two things, that predictive and descriptive. Predictive is being furthered in the classification, regression, time analysis, predictions. where the descriptive is being classified into clustering, summarized, and association rule. This is known to everyone. Okay, so the variable type here used in the data mining and classification and analytics is a variable of two kinds, that is numeric and categorical. Categorical we have seen with the R, and in R the categorical data is known as the factor. Okay, and the numeric again can be divided into two, continuous and discrete. The continuous numeric is your kind of height, weight. Likewise, if you're taking a mob, the height won't be 2 or 3 only. It might be 2.3 also. So whenever the continuous thing is kept on, it is treated be a numeric, and numeric even called the quantitative. Okay, discrete is a number of students or number of participants of this webinar. It can't be 2.5 or 20.5. It might be a whole number kind of thing. So discrete will be that. With the categorical data, there are two further two classification, that is ordinal, nominal. So wherever the order matter is known as ordinal. Likewise, size of cloth like X, XL, XXL, triple XL, M, S. So this is the size matters here. The rating, likewise the movie rating, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. So it is not basically quantitative. It is qualitative data, and which have an order in this. So it is treated as being ordinal quantitative data. The nominal one, like color of eye, gender, and this is known as the nominal one. The categorical data known as factor here in the R. Now one more thing, you have gone through the histogram and bar chart even, and you want even it might be that possible that you even don't know that where to use the bar chart and where to use histogram. So it is an essential thing, an important thing to know, you people, that for the quantitative data set, that you have quantitative thing like numeric one, you must have to use the histogram. But whereas for the qualitative data set, you have to use the bar charts. Okay, so how algorithm learns or algorithms work in supervised manner. So I have given this thing, and then we will move on to the coding portion. So there must be you have to choose an machine learning algorithm according to a data set, as I told you in the previous slide. So what you have to do, the labeled data must have to break in two portions, that is the training and testing data set. So you have to train your model on basis of the training model set, and have to test your model on the test portion, and then you can validate your model. After the validation, if your validation is good and you can cross that threshold which is created by you, that whether your model is efficient or not, you can put those things to the new data set, and on that predictive model you can take out the predictions. So it is a diagram which is showing you the flow of working with the machine learning algorithms. Okay, so I'm just coming to the example, and then I'm closing my session. So let me have the regression algorithm for you people. Let me show.
Sir, there is one question from Rishikesh Poteji. Throughout the ML model building process, can you suggest some important pillars which optimizes the final prediction?
Which optimize the final prediction. Initially, if you want to finalize the your final output, you have to do a lot of work. Like before the data set you have to clean it. You have to move the null values and all the duplicate values. So after processing all these things, then you have to train your model. So as much as your model will be efficient, it will depend upon what algorithm you're using and how you're processing it. So Rishikesh, if you want to if you want to perform the efficiently particular algorithm, you must have to check whether which model is suited to you. So even what you can do, you can put simultaneously 2 or 3 models, and you can check with model your training data set will be more efficiently giving the answer, so that you can apply the new data to that model only. You can means basically the thing is that you have to check all models accordingly, and then have to judge that which model is suitable to your data set. Is it clear to you, Rishikesh?
Yes, sir, you go ahead. I will keep on checking the chat window.
Okay. So
yes, we have got feedback from Rishikesh. if the doubts are clear. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to wind up this thing by just showing you a little bit of the code here, and then if you were interested, you can ping in the review section that you want separate section for the machine learning using this R. Okay, so I'm just going to have last code for you people, and then going to wind up this webinar. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to see the code here. So this is the CSV reading file. So by using this command read.csv file choose, you can choose a file. So I'm going to choose a lung cap data. Okay, so you just see a window is popped here, and I have to put the data file here. So let me go with the data. Okay, so the lung cap data I'm showing you. First of all, we have to just see the data, that what is data, then we can utilize that data. Okay, so if you just go through this data set, just a minute. Just a minute. Excuse me, it's creating some problem to me. Let me.
If it is you are facing some issues, you can skip, sir. No issues. We will have in detail session in future, so no issues.
Okay. Let me try once. If it is possible, then I will show you it. Sir, it somewhat Nanji. Hello.
No issues, sir. You can skip it. No issues, sir. I think we shall move forward, sir.
Yes, I'm just moving on. So let me, I think it's creating some problem. I will just describe you what I want to do. I'm just going to attach a lung cap. Yeah, it is attached now. You can see that the total 725 observation. You can see it here in the. So this is the value. This is the data set. What I'm applying here. So it is the lung cap data in which the lung capacity of a particular person is taken, and its age, height, whether he's a smoker or not, and its gender is mentioned, whether he's a Caspian or not, he has the cancer or not. So that is the way we are going to learn the data set or creating our model on that, and then we will guess about the patients might be having the cancer or not. So this is the data set, and I'm going to see this data set. Have to attach this data set. Until you won't attach the data set, you can't able to access by its name. So once you will attach, once you will keep the data set in your environment variable, you have to attach that data set. If you want to see the dimensions of that data set, you can do the dim function. So it has 725 cross 6 as being dimension here. If you want to see the names as we seen in the Excel, I have shown you, that is the lung cap, age, height, smoke, gender, and Caesarean. The class even can see with this function, that is numeric class. Gender, if you want to see the class of the gender, it is factor. The levels class is male. The labels at the gender is male and female. So this is a way to just see all your data. Now, if you have to put the, if you have to draw the bar chart of that, you can even do that. If you want to the relative frequency, if you want to see, so how I will show you how to find the relative frequency. Let's I have generated the gender in the table manner, and the result will be 358 and 358 females and 367 males are there. with a table, and I'm just going to store. Right now, the this table won't have stored the result somewhere. So what I'm doing, I'm again running this table gender and putting it to the count. Count is the variable which going to store this thing, and then I'm just going to divide that 7 with the 725, means each section of that table means 358 upon 725 and 367 upon 725. So we have to do this thing for finding the relative frequency. So I'm doing this thing and I'm storing it in a variable named as percentage. Now, if I'm going to see the value of the percentage, it will give me in the console that 40.4937 and 0.50% of male and female were in the data set. So you can easily find the relative frequency with this. If you want to plot a bar chart of the count, you can do it. You can, object is not created, count is not created. Let me create the count first. I have created count now, and then I have to run this thing. Okay, so you can see the bar chart. Even it is very easy to put the bar chart. If you want to put a box plot, you can put a box plot. This box plot is showing you the first quadrant, median, third quadrant, and the outliers. This is outlier treated here, minimum and maximum. So those who are being equipped with or learned with this, able to know about this. Okay, you can even generate the pie distribution chart, and a lot of options are there. So what I suggest you people, just at least have to install. Those who are practicing the data sciences, they must have to see another option with the R language, and it is easy. Now I'm just concluding because I have. Let me show you again. This for the modeling the linear regression. If you have to model, the LM function is with you. You can run with the LM function and do the linear modeling. If you just put the change the attribute here, even with the same function, you can go with the logistic also. So there are a lot of options. Using R, you can modulate your data analytics with this. The thing I'm just concluding, but before that, I just want to show you a swirl kind of thing, by which when you doesn't require anyone to teach you this R language. You can install the studio and install a package named as Swirl. By using Swirl, you can even learn the R by yourself. So what you have to do, you have to just go into package here and install. You have to put here install and have to write here Swirl. So I think for mine the Swirl is already installed. Okay, SWIRL. Okay, you have to install. So let me show you. So for me, it is already installed. Just see, it is already installed. But it is going. I have run it again, so it is going again. So what you have to do, whenever you have interest to learn the Swirl, you have to install in this manner, as I have told you. Install. Go here, install, write Swirl, and then after, what you have to do, you have to start with the coding with this package. I think it is visible to how it is running. I just want to show that it is a virtual teacher to you for learning your R. Okay, these all installations is going on in the background. We can able to see it on the console right now. Now we can start to run that. So how could we have to run that? We have to put library function, library, and in that we have to write Swirl, and then have to put enter. Okay, Swirl is started for me, and now it is. If you see, hi, I see that you have some variables saved in your workspace because I have already worked with that. So I recommend you to start. I recommend you to clean up it before Swirl. So for the cleanup, ls will be treated, but I don't want to clean up. I just want to start my Swirl. So I will do SWIRL Swirl and going to start it. So now the Swirl is start. She's asking me that from which name I call you. I put my name Ravi. Okay. So thanks, Ravi. Let's cover a couple of quick housekeeping items before we begin our first lesson. So for doing it, I have press enter. Press enter. Let's go on the session. So I'm putting 3. Okay. For skipping, you can put the skip function. For playing, play. For next, by is for closing. Main to come on the main resume, and info for the other options. Okay. So now what I have to see, what I have to learn, I have to learn the R basics programming. Even you can, if you want to learn the regression model, you have to choose 2. Statistical inference, you have to choose 3. Exploratory data analysis, you have to put 4. And even you can download the packages from GitHub for the Squirrel. So if you want to learn deep learning even with the Squirrel, what you have to do, you have to download the package of deep learning from the GitHub, and that will you have to install in the Squirrel, and it will guide you to learn the deep learning also. So that is the best thing I have found with this R Studio. Let me show the basic programming. I'm selecting the 1 here, and my session is start. So you can see that session is loaded 100%. And now R programming. Okay, 1. Okay, what thing you want to learn? Whether you want to learn vector, you want to learn missing values, you want to learn logic, functions, base graphics, date and times, all the things are there. So all the guys who are attending this webinar have some scope to learn R by this Squirrel package. That's why I have demonstrated it to you people. And if you people were interested in a separate session of the purely machine learning thing, because it's an introductory session of R, I wish to blooming the R buds in you people. So from now onwards, if you have interested in R, you can go with the Squirrel, and even you can contact to the moderator. He can arrange the further on sessions on the deep learning or on the shallow learning, on the ANN, on the KNN. Whatever you require, you can put in the review, and we will try to put the webinars for those sessions also. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, moderator Nanji. I'm just winding my session here.
Thank you, sir. It has been a very, it has been a very nice session, sir. And participants' feedbacks and their questions have always motivated you and us also. And I think we will go for some 1 or 2 sessions, one with some, you can say, machine learning with R, with some predefined models, and some of the topics you might suggest, or if we get some topics in feedback, we will continue that also. I think definitely. I am audible to you, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, I want to say that, yeah, please, sir.
Yeah, you continue, sir.
Hello. Sir, actually, to complete, I have just taken the overview of these things, because through each and every concept, if we are going to have, there are at least required 4 to 5 hours for a single algorithm even. So if we have to do it in a separate way, like if the reviews were from the participants, then I'm very happy to prepare according to the learners and all. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely, we will go for that session, and we will announce it soon for all the participants. Participants may visit our website to register for that session. Thank you very much, sir. It has been indeed, you can say, my pleasure to host you, and the knowledge you have shared with all the participants will definitely increase their interest in R, and it will help them to study more using this software in their research or data analytics or machine learning. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and your wisdom, knowledge, everything, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I request all the participants to please submit the feedback regarding this webinar, and you may request more webinars there in your comments. And also, now I request all the participants to please leave this meeting so that we can conclude. Thank you all the participants for being present here. Thank you. Thank you, Ravi sir, once more.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all of you for listening me.
I request all the participants to please leave meeting. Thank you.